Hey guys, Zack here, and welcome back to another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Jurassic World Legacy Collection Isla Sorna Capture Pack. Now, I think it's really cool that we're moving on to the Lost World as far as like the Legacy Collection goes. There are some figures I would have liked to seen as far as like Jurassic Park characters went. An original Henry Wu figure would have been really cool. A Donald Gennaro also would have been cool, and even a Jerry Harding. I think he would have been really cool to see, but honestly, I'm not really like too upset about that because for one, they might be Comic-Con exclusives at one point, so we'll just have to see. Second of all, I actually really like The Lost World, like as a movie. I know there are people who don't like The Lost World, and to be fair, it is a flawed movie. But I'll be honest and say that The Lost World is probably not only my favorite sequel in the Jurassic Park franchise, but probably the only like genuinely great sequel in my opinion. I know people really don't like Jurassic Park 3 and Fallen Kingdom, and even people hate Jurassic World, but I don't like those movies, but I don't care too much for those movies either. Like, they're fine, I guess, but The Lost World is a movie that I genuinely think is great. Again, I know there are people who don't like The Lost World, which I can kind of see, because it is kind of a flawed movie, I'm not gonna lie. If I were to put it in, like, a movie sequel, like, tier list, I'd say it'd be between, like, low A tier, high B tier. I think The Lost World is a lot of fun. So, yeah. I'll talk about this more in a later video, but I digress. And what a great way to start with The Lost World because, like, Roland, who's the character included in this set, he is probably my favorite character in that movie, so I think it's great that we're starting off with him. And I think he looks great. And overall, spoiler alert, I do really like this set. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't really have a whole lot else to say, so let's just talk about why I think this set is so great. So, yeah. So, per usual, to start this review, we'll take a look at the painting. So, starting with the Humvee, I think. I don't know exactly what type of car this is. I'm not really a car expert, but I think it's a Humvee, but I could be wrong there. But anyway, taking a look at the painting on the vehicle here, we can see that most of the vehicle here is just like very this sort of like almost dull looking like shade of green, which I think looks nice. The front here we have the InGen logo, which looks a little scuffed like right there, but that's very minor. In fact, I don't even think you can see it on camera. But a side note, I actually really like the InGen logo. I think it looks really cool. And we even have it on the side here. Of course, the wheels are casted in this black plastic. There's a part of the vehicle right here that's more of like a yellowish, greenish color, and as well as the button right here. The bullets here, which we'll talk about more when we take a look at the articulation, they are painted yellow, and they just kind of hang out here, which I think is cool. The backlights here they're not painted, these are stickers, and same with the headlights here and up here. Going to the inside, all of the seats are painted black, and the little computer thing right here, or radio, whatever you want to call this thing. This is a sticker, so this isn't painted. And yeah, we have the InGen logo right here again. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the painting on this vehicle here. Now we'll take a look at the Juvenile Parasaurolophus, which I think is kind of a neat idea on paper to include like a juvenile version of like a dinosaur from the movie. At the same time, I think this figure is a little lame. I get they need a dinosaur for this set, but I don't know. I don't hate this Parasaurolophus, but I don't really love it either. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's take a look at the actual paint. And the painting here is pretty boring. Most of the body is this brownish color. We have a darker shade of brown here on the back and on the crest with some darker markings. The eyes here are painted orange, and the pupils are painted black, but for some reason, sorry, I'll try to hold still. They gave this thing, like, slits for the pupils, which I don't like how that looks, like, at all. If they just went with, like, a regular, like, dot, that would have been really nice, but instead they gave it slits, and I don't know, I just think that's really weird to put on a Parasaur, but that's just me. Other than that, though, that's honestly pretty much it for the painting. Like, I'm not expecting anything, like, too complex, but at the same time, I feel like they could have done something else. Maybe something a little more, like, Lost World inspired, like, more based on the Parasaurolophus from The Lost World. I think a color scheme like that would have been really nice, but that's just me, so yeah. Now we'll take a look at Roland, and the painting on Roland is actually really nice, so let's take a closer look at that. So taking a look, we can see that the head is painted this greenish brownish color, which looks good, looks accurate to the movie. Of course, he has sort of almost a tan going on, which I think looks nice, and the painting on the face there, I think looks really nice. It looks a lot like the actor that played Roland in the movie. I forgot his name at the moment, but regardless, he does look very nice as far as the paint apps go. His jacket is casted in this this like grayish brownish sort of color. It looks a little different from his sleeves here, but you can't really notice that. On camera, it actually looks good, but in here you can notice a very slight difference. Like in person, I mean, you can notice a very slight difference. But his shirt is painted white, and his watch is painted a metallic cover. And they actually did paint the actual like band itself a different color, which is nice. The shorts here are painted a like darkish, like same color as the hat, this like brownish, greenish color, and the belt here is painted brown, which looks nice. And the boots here are painted brown as well, but for some reason on mine, I don't know if this is a paint defect or this is on purpose, but like on the back of mine, there's like brown like smudge marks, which to be fair, like you could pass that off as like dirt or like mud, so like that doesn't really bother me, but I think it's weird. Like I don't know if that's on purpose or not. If it is, it's weird that it's just like there, but if it's on like if it's accidental, then like it doesn't bother me too much because like I said, you could just say that's like mud or something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the painting on Roland. So yeah, there we go. And that's pretty much it for the painting on this set. And the painting on this set, I think, is good. The Parasaur, I'm not the biggest fan of, but besides that, I think Roland is painted very well. And I think the vehicle itself, again, I'm not sure if it's a Humvee or not, but regardless, the painting on both the vehicle and Roland Tembo here, I think looks really nice. So, and even the Parasaur doesn't look bad, it's just a little bland, but overall, I'd say the painting on this set gets a full pass. So, yeah. Anyway, with that said, let's take a quick look at the articulation. To start, we'll take a look at Roland, and the articulation on Roland is actually really nice. Well, we've seen this before on several other of the human figures in the Jurassic World, like, you know, dinosaur line, the basic line, whatever you want to call it. We have a ball joint at the head here. The arms can move like that. And the joints are actually really tight, so it does feel nice to pose this figure. The waist can rotate, I almost said wrist. He can kick far, like that, but he can't go back that far. There's a bend at the knee, and he can do the splits. So yeah. It would have been nice if Roland Tembo, like, not just him, like, all these human figures, it would have been nice if they had wrist articulation, but other than that, though, I think the articulation here is very nice on Roland, so there's that. Now we'll take a look at the Parasaur, and the articulation here is pretty basic. The Parasaur can look up that much and down about that much. There's also a swivel here. And each of the limbs can move 360, though you do have to force it in some spots, so I wouldn't recommend moving the joints 360. And of course we have this this really stupid DNA thing. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of this, like, at all, but, you know, what can you do? So, yeah. Other than that, though, actually, this is something I think is cool. So, this figure is supposed to be bipedal, but if you, like, position it, you can actually make him, like, quadrupedal. And he actually doesn't look terrible when he's, like, quadrupedal. I mean, you kind of have to, like, play with it, like, a little more to make it look good, but yeah, he doesn't look bad when you put him in this quadrupedal stance. But he is supposed to be bipedal here, so there you go. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the articulation. Not bad. A bit basic, but still not bad at all. Now, lastly, as far as articulation goes, we'll take a look at the vehicle. And the vehicle itself actually has a decent amount of articulation. Now, of course, this is a car, so it would make sense that the wheels roll, and this car actually does roll very nicely. Uh, the spare tire here, like, spins too, which is, I don't know why they included this, but it's kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. But, yeah, the steering wheel can rotate a little bit, which is pretty cool. And if you push this button here, just like in the movie, the seat here sort of like comes out. So like, well, like, you know, in the game trail scene, you know, the seat like comes out so you can like tranquilize like the Parasaur or whatever, which is really cool. And like I mentioned earlier, this figure comes with 3 missiles. 2 you can keep here, but if you push this button, it launches like so. So overall, like, you know, it comes with 3. I just had one in there just to show off that gimmick, but yeah. And I think that's pretty much it for the articulation here. You know, for a car like this, I think the amount of articulation here is really nice. I really like this this gimmick here. I think that's really cool. But yeah, the articulation on this car is really nice. So yeah. So that's pretty much it for the articulation on this set. And overall, I think all the figures included have a very nice range of motion. Roland Tembo, I think, has a lot of great articulation. Some wrist joints would have been really nice, but, you know, what can you do? I've said that for most of the, you know, human figures in, like, this sort of scale. The vehicle, I think, is really cool. And even little Parasaur, I think, has some really nice points of articulation. Like, there could have been more, but honestly, the arms and legs moves, and, like, you know, there's a, you know, joint at the head. So honestly, what more do you really need here? The Parasaur is very basic, but that's kind of the point. So I think the articulation there is fine. So overall, the articulation on this set is good. So I'd say it definitely gets a pass. So with that said, let's move on to the sculpt. So to take a look at the sculpting, we'll take a look at the Parasaur first. And the sculpting here, I mean, it's not bad per se, but it's a little generic. I feel like a sculpt more based on the Stan Winston maquette would have been really nice. Like, it looks like pretty similar to the maquette, but like, I think the proportions are a little off. You know, just like the stance. The Stan Winston maquette was a little more upright, so I feel like more of like something like that would have been nice. And even the head, like, it looks like very similar, but it's still not 1-to-1 with the maquette. So like, again, it's a little off. It does get the job done, but honestly, this I don't mind this Parasaur at all, but this Parasaur figure almost feels like an afterthought, and it almost feels like this set is supposed to go along with the Hammond Collection Parasaur that is out now. As of me recording this, I have yet to find it, but you know, hopefully I'll find it soon. So yeah, I think the Hammond Collection looks really cool, by the way. So I can't wait to see what else they do with that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Parasaur. Not bad, but it would have been nicer if it looked more like the one from The Lost World, as like a juvenile version, because this is supposed to be a juvenile. So I guess with that in consideration, I guess it does work, but I don't know. It's the sculpting here is okay, not great, but not the best either. So yeah. Now we'll take a look at Roland, and the sculpting on Roland looks really good. So let's take a closer look. So, of course, the head sculpting here looks pretty spot on to how he looked in the movie. Again, I forget the actor's name, but this figure does a great job, you know, capturing that actor's likeness. So, yeah, I think the head sculpt looks really nice, and overall, the proportions on this guy look really cool too. And yeah, the head sculpt is great, and that's, you know, all I really need to say. So, yeah, the sculpting on Roland here looks very nice. So, yeah. Now we'll take a look at the vehicle itself, and the sculpting here, I almost said detailing. Not yet. The the sculpting here, it does look very nice. Of course, they did have to make some, you know, sacrifices, because, like, you know, of course, like, this bit here, it's not like a big, like, turret. So I feel like this part right here would have been a little different than in the movie. And of course, like, the bullets themselves, I mean, these are obviously just, like, you know, little, like, toy missiles, so it's just kind of like, you know, it's whatever. So of course they kind of have to be, like, you know, big like that for the gimmick. But, you know, overall, hold on, let me just get this. Oh, that's as far as it goes. So, sorry about that. But yeah, other than, stuff like that, I think they did a really good job of, like, capturing, like, how this vehicle looked in the movie. So, yeah, the sculpting on this vehicle looks very nice. That's pretty much it for the sculpting on this set. And the sculpting here, I think, is really nice. Roland, I think, is sculpted perfectly. The vehicle itself, I think, looks great. And even the Parasaur. I know I said, like, it could have been better, but it still doesn't look terrible here. I don't mind it. I get they needed, like, a smaller dinosaur for this set. And I think it's cool that they had, like, a juvenile version of, like, a larger dinosaur. I think that's cool, but if they wanted, like, a smaller dinosaur to go with this set, I feel like Pachycephalosaurus would have been cooler to see. Maybe, like, an entirely new sculpt, because I'm not a big fan of the original Legacy Collection Pachycephalosaurus that came out, but yeah, something like that would have been cool, but I'm not too fussed about the Parasaurolophus. I think it's a cool inclusion here, but yeah, overall, I think the sculpting in this set looks really nice, and it definitely gets a pass. So now we will move on to the detailing. Starting off with the Parasaur, the detailing here is good. Usually with all of the Mattel dinosaur figures, they usually do a great job with the detailing, and this figure is no exception. So, sorry, my ADHD is just gonna shake the whole time. So the detailing here looks really nice. All the scales and all like the wrinkles in the face here looks really nice. Just a lot of really nice defining as far as like the detailing goes, and even the beak itself is also detailed really nicely, because you can see like all the cracks and whatnot. That looks really good. But going to the body here, again, all the scales and all the bits of like wrinkles and whatnot, and all the musculature is detailed very nicely defined. The forearms here are detailed very nicely as well. A lot of really nice musculature, and even the hands, a lot of really nice detailing there. Going to the legs, we have a lot of really nice musculature here, especially in like the calves here, but yeah, the detailing here looks very nice, and all the scales on the toes, and yeah, overall, just a lot of really nice like leathery like texturing here, which looks cool. And the detailing sort of like gets a little weak here, but then it gets really good here, which is a little weird. But anyway, yeah, a lot of really nice scaling, and a lot of really nice musculature and whatnot. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Parasaur. Overall, I think the detailing here is very nice. So yeah. Now, taking a look at the vehicle itself, the detailing here is very nice. So, of course, the front hood right here, we have a lot of like a really nice detailing, like all of the vents here on the sides, and even the not windshield, but like this part here, I think looks good. And again, just a lot of really nice mechanical detailing in the front here. The tires are detailed very nicely as well. And on the side, we just have a lot of very nice mechanical detailing of the little bolts here. Again, are very neatly defined. And even on the back here, the detailing here looks great. And that continues to the other side of the vehicle. Going to the inside, the seats look really nice, and they even sculpted cup holders, which is really cool. The wheel here and everything like that, I don't know if you can see it, but the detailing there looks really nice. The underside has a lot of really nice detailing as well. And even taking a closer look at this bit here, the detailing, once again, looks really nice. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the vehicle here. And yeah, the detailing here looks great. Now, lastly, as far as detailing goes, we'll take a look at Roland. And the detailing here looks very nice. Taking a look at his hat here, the detailing here looks nice. The folds on the top here, and even the little stitches like above the rim here, I think looks really nice. And even the detailing in his face looks very good. Again, it looks a lot like the actor who played him in the movie. And of course, his coat here is detailed very nicely as well. All the wrinkles and all the pockets, I think, are detailed very nicely. And even the detailing on his shirt, his his Peter Griffin-esque shirt, I think, is detailed pretty decently. His belt here is also detailed pretty decently. And even his pants, you got all of, like, the wrinkles and everything like that detailed very nicely. And again, a lot of nice musculature and his shins here and like his upper leg here. And I forgot to point this out. The detailing on his arms looks good. A lot of nice detailing there, and even the little watch is detailed pretty decently. Now going to his shoes here, they are detailed very nicely. All of the laces and all the minor things like the stitches and everything like that are detailed very nicely. So yeah. And that's pretty much it for the detailing on Roland. And the detailing here looks very nice. And for some reason, okay, there we go. I have sometimes I have troubles standing Roland, but he's standing now. So yeah, the detailing on Roland here is great. Now that's pretty much it for the detailing. And overall, as a whole, I think the detailing on this set looks great. Roland has a lot of great detailing. The vehicle itself also has some really nice detailing. And the Parasaur especially has some really nice detailing as well. So overall, the set gets, I'd say it gets a pass because, like I just said, the detailing here is very nice. So yeah, let's just move on to some size comparisons. Now for some size comparisons. Here is the Ford Explorer, the Legacy Collection one, as well as Tim Murphy. So there he is. Here we have the original Legacy Collection Jeep Wrangler, as well as Dennis Nedry. And of course, here we have some hand sanitizer. And here we have Dr. Billy Grant. And I think they all look really nice next to each other. So at the end of the day, should you get this set? Honestly, I'd say yes. I think this is a really cool set. Roland Tembo, I think, is a great figure. I think the vehicle included is also really cool. And even the Parasaur, I feel like they could have done a different dinosaur, like a Pachycephalosaur. I still think the Parasaur here is, I think is alright, They could have done something else, and it's not the best, but the Parasaur isn't too bad. Like I said earlier in this video, the only real reason why the Parasaur here is because, it was just sort of like a cop-out, and it really feels like, Roland Tembo in the vehicle here is only, mainly, here to be displayed with the Hammond Collection Parasaur, which, like I said, I do not have yet, but I do plan on getting it. When they first announced it, unfortunately, I did not pre-order it. I didn't think about it, so now I have to wait and actually try to hunt it down in stores. But, with that out of the way, I still think that this is a really cool set, and as far as prices go, you're looking at about, I think $30, which is honestly not bad at all, because Roland, Roland Tembo, I think, is of really good quality. The vehicle, again, is really cool, and the Parasaur is cool, too. So, overall, I definitely recommend this set. I'd actually recommend this set more than the Kitchen Encounter set that I reviewed last week, which, that wasn't a bad set, but, I don't know, this just feels more exciting to me, but that's just me. But anyway, yeah, definitely get this if you can. Only $30. Go for it. It's great. You can only get it at Target, though, so, yeah. Anyway, that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zack out.